It's 10 o'clock, and this is Fox 10 Talks. Good morning, everybody. The story has people around the valley talking this morning and wondering how could something like this ever happen. A vulnerable little 2-year-old child left in a hot garage, according to police. It's been one of our top stories this morning, and it is one now. Our Rick Davis, our photojournalist, was out there yesterday covering it. He's going to rejoin us this morning live from that very same Mesa neighborhood where it all unfolded. That's coming up in about a minute. Also today on Fox 10 Talks, look, haircuts keep costing more. Celeste, I saw a number that said in the last, I'm trying to remember, in the last maybe 20 years or 15 years, the price of a haircut is up almost 80%.
Wow.
And so, I mean, it's, look, I feel lucky as a guy that can get it done for $25.
$25.
I believe you told me you spend more than 25.
Ron, you can't nearly feed a family for $25.
Let alone get a haircut.
Yeah, well done, buddy.
Because the Clancy trial is going on and the whole country is paying attention to it, we're going to bring an expert on today to just talk about the warning signs of postpartum psychosis. Yes, there is postpartum depression, but this is when it's even more severe. So we'll have an expert on to talk about that. So, Celeste, let's get right out. Oh, hold on one moment here. Let me just scooch.
Which way are we?
There we go. Am I scooching toward you?
I think we'll adjust the camera. Thank you, Brian.
There you go.
Okay.
Just the two of us and our 3 microphones.
I think now I'm singing that song, Just the Two of Us.
Oh,
we
yes.
can make it if we try.
If only we could sing. All right, let's get right on to it here. Our Rick Davis is out there in Mesa this morning. Longtime photojournalist here in the Valley of the Sun, longtime Fox 10 employee. And Rick, you went out there yesterday when you first heard the call about what was going on. And by the way, where in Mesa are you? Tell us a little bit about what kind of transpired as the day went on.
Yeah, Ron, Celeste. We are located right now in Mesa around 32nd Street in Val Vista in between Lindsay. And when I first heard that call about what had happened to this 2-year-old kid, I just couldn't believe it. And I thought to myself, driving out here, what are the neighbors going to say once they hear what had happened to this 2-year-old kid being locked or closed in a hot garage in Extreme? Unbelievable.
It really is. Now, we're going to roll the video from this particular neighborhood. So I'm just trying to think of the cross streets. If you're between Lindsay and Val Vista, what's your east-west cross street there? Are you around McKellips?
32nd Street. So roughly at 32nd Street and Broadway.
And Broadway. Okay, yeah.
Is an intersection of this I guess you'd call it some condos.
Yeah. And here's the mugshot, by the way, once the arrest was made. Yeah. And here's, as we call it in the biz, an IA, initial appearance. What exactly happened?
Whoa. Neighbors said that they heard the ambulance. They saw the police. Did not know what was actually going on until, we came out and started trying to find out which of the condos this happened at. And once they realized what had happened, they said, oh, yeah, well, the police are always at this unit on a regular basis. So they figured something was going on. They just did not know what. And then when they found out that the kid was locked or the garage was closed in extreme heat, they were like, oh, no way. This is just a terrible, terrible thing to happen.
And so it was one of the neighbors whom she called or reached out to come on over. Were you able to speak with her or other neighbors? I'm guessing maybe people kind of know about her. It looks like a tight-knit community.
Yeah, it is a tight-knit community, Celeste. We did not speak to her. She was not at home, kind of looking around to see if she's around right now. But kudos to her. I mean, to actually have enough to go in and rescue this child who we understand was sleeping at the time when she opened up that garage and saw the kid and called for help.
Well, all right, we're going to roll some of that sound, Rick, because I know when you were out there yesterday, you were talking with folks. Let's listen.
Or child abuse, there has to be danger, imminent danger has to be present for the child. So there's more than just the text messages. The heat's obviously playing a factor.
Well, actually, that was from police, but you did have a chance to talk with neighbors, right? What did you hear?
Yeah, several neighbors, actually 3 neighbors came up when I was taking pictures of the unit, saying that, this is so terrible. That mother, number one, to be under the influence of all these different types of drugs and to leave the kid, they just couldn't believe it. And still today, as I go around, it is a quiet area. I'm not seeing a lot of people walking around, maybe because of the heat. No one's outside. But man, just when you thought you saw the worst of something, something else comes up.
Yeah.
And this right here is really knocking on the door.
And it's like it's almost like a hothouse, or a greenhouse. When you walk in your garage, sometimes it's hotter and stuffier than even if you were outside. So you just think about that child. So she texted the neighbor and said, "I'm leaving, and my child is in the garage," and left it in the lap of the neighbor.
Crazy. We do these stories, Ron, where we use a thermometer when it's the hottest part of the day on the sidewalk. You can only imagine what the temperature was, beaming up against that garage door that was shut with that kid in there.
Yeah, and
they said she was in there. It took 20 or 30 minutes, Rick, to revive him. Is that's a long time?
Oh, boy, yeah, so dangerous.
You can only imagine what the first responders, once they got the kid to some safety at a hospital and realized that the kid had drugs in the system, what is really going on with this mom?
Yeah. Well, apparently the reports indicate that on August 1st, Department of Child Safety took the 2-year-old into its custody, obviously temporarily, and medical exams at the time found meth and THC and fentanyl. And this particular woman, ID'd now as Amy Shellhammer, admitted that she had been smoking the drugs at least 10 times a day in front of the child. Did we ever hear as a little boy or a little girl?
Little boy.
Yeah, little boy. That's
Yeah.
a serious cry for help right there.
Yeah,
to make
sure
that type
is.
of admit to that with your own kid. I mean,
Yeah.
poor kid. I mean,
I know.
what happens to the kid now? In custody of authorities, but not a way to start a life.
No,
Not
it's a
at all.
heartbreaking story, really.
It is. I mean, we've all either raised kids or have grandkids, and that 2-year-old age is so special. They're so dependent on you, and they're just learning, new words, and they just love you. And to be treated like this is about as heartbreaking as I can think of. Rick, thanks for your time.
Great report,
Yes.
Rick. Thank you. Heartbreaking headline, though, to be on.
The other thing is people need to watch out for this kind of thing amongst our youngest population, but also our oldest population, Celeste. I know yesterday you had a story you wanted to kind of share. There has now been more discussion about taking steps to protect the older people in our community. Take a listen to this.
There are people out there that are preying on older senior citizens. There's elder abuse, obviously, at the county level, the state level. I think you're opening a whole new can of worms by not actually focused on something like this.
They're just walking targets. I mean, and in this society, there are lots of people out there just waiting and laying in wait for the right opportunity and the right person to come by, and then they're going to pounce on them.
Yeah, it's so true. And apparently there was legislation. Look right here. Text of the bill. And the county attorney for Pinal and Maricopa, they were both on board, but for some reason it didn't get all the way through the legislature in time. Think they're going to be bringing it back up on the next go-around next year.
Well, I think it would be interesting to hear from some of the lawmakers who either voted no or had questions about this bill moving forward and what they wanted to see different within it, because I think we can all agree that we want something like this passed. Two quick situations. We had that woman who just lost $4 million.
Up in Prescott.
Up in Prescott,
Yes, right.
You think, wow, 4 million. Here's a situation that happened to me. I was almost scammed, and I could see how a senior citizen could totally buy into what I almost bought into. I kept getting these phone calls. I pressed ignore, hang up, kept getting these phone calls. It was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago in the middle of an afternoon. Okay. I finally answer it, and this woman, it says FCC on it.
Okay.
I'm thinking, wow, did I break a rule at work? What's happening?
We had some questions about your comments on yesterday's pod.
About testosterone and coffee. No, and so what happened was I kept asking, and she says, I'm with the FCC, and there's a telephone that is in your name that is purchased at Verizon, and if you don't figure this out, we're going to shut your phone off in 2 hours. And I was like, this is weird. I'm like, I don't trust you. She goes, go to the FCC.gov, go down to the middle of the page, type my name into this box, search box, and it'll give you my information there. The woman had already stolen somebody else's name and number and claimed to be an employee of the FCC. And tried to trick me into, she's like, well, and I was like, okay. And she's like, I need to send you to the Washington, D.C. Police Department. I know exactly where this phone was purchased. Let me give you the address of the Verizon store in D.C., which she did. I called the Verizon store. They said, you need to come into the office to check this out. And I was like, I live in Arizona. And so she said, we can go into any Verizon store. They wouldn't give me any information over the phone. Turns out that the person they transferred me to within the police department was also a fake number.
Oh, my gosh.
And you could hear the woman in the background trying to teach the woman on the phone with me how to scam me.
So how did she want you to give them money?
Well, what happened was I said, I still don't feel safe. I got to go. I called the Washington, D.C. Police Department myself, and she says, ma'am, this is a scam that's been going on since April and May. And so it had some of these people may stay on the line longer with these individuals, and then they end up taking your information. And so I can see how, in terms of elder abuse, somebody would go, oh, because they've gotten so sophisticated.
I know it. And they're purposely targeting the elderly.
And we need to pass some sort of legislation for sure.
One day my sister said she walked into the house as my mom was on the phone with some guy, and mom was saying, so where do you want me to send the money?
Yeah.
And Linda grabbed the phone and hung up. Anyway, we got to watch out for our older population. Break time, back in a minute. And it's a preview of your mystery cam right there. I don't know if it's a brand new City Celeste or just a new camera, because you have to
wow.
kind of look beyond the aerodrome, or whatever you want to call that structure
Wow.
there, that domed cylindrical structure.
Do you think there's glass underneath it, and so people can walk through the building and look up and see that kind of,
I hope so.
cylinder type of dome?
I
and
hope
it's kind of
so.
like a piece of artwork.
Correct. We need more buildings with some creativity
We do.
here in the valley, don't we?
I'm
not
sure-
saying we got to copy that, but I don't know. I'm seeing buildings that lean to the left and lean to the right and look like they're, moving around on a 360. I don't know.
We should have kept, and you've brought this up before as well, we should have kept the state capitol the Frank Lloyd Wright had designed for Arizona.
Celeste, that's what's funny about that. I'm going to reach out to the Frank Lloyd Wright people again. When I was away on vacay last week, sometimes I'm thinking of work. I know I shouldn't, but I do. And I thought we need to get the Frank Lloyd Wright people in here to show everybody what his concept was for our incredible state capitol. It was going to be over by the Papago Buttes, kind of not too far from where the Phoenix Zoo is today. It would have been spectacular.
Oh my gosh, and set in those boulders.
Yep.
Then people would have wanted, like right now it's hard to get politicians to become state senators and state, it's like maybe they would have wanted to be at the state capitol.
Because the building's too boring. They're like, I don't want to go down there.
I'm not doing that job.
You got a dome that's been there since what, the 20s, and then you got those two 60s style school building looking things.
Yeah, just added them onto the side.
Yeah.
All right.
So we still don't 100% know all the answers about the mystery of the day yesterday, which was Ketel Marte.
So true.
If you are not familiar with him, he is a superstar with our Arizona Diamondbacks. And I mean, he is fun to watch. And so he's now, the story goes, back in Arizona. We had Robbie Baker on yesterday. He was on fire on this report, and he had all the deets.
Yeah, he did.
But anyway, D-backs fans still kind of wondering, well, what's going on here? Because the public statements are not adding up. I'll put it that way. Monday night, he was a no-show. They had a huge game against the Red Sox in Boston. And the team came out and said, well, he's dealing with a personal issue, but he's fine physically. Then yesterday, the team said that he was going to be flown to Arizona to have an MRI scan on his knee. So one day we think it's a personal issue. The next day, it's reportedly something to do with his knee. So we don't know for sure.
But here's the thing is that there's no announcement. Hey, I'm going in for some work on my knee.
Yes.
Or there's nothing.
That would be helpful, wouldn't it?
Yes.
If there was like some social media. So anyway, eventually it'll all get cleared up, and the D-backs have lost a few games in a row here because they need him. They need Ketel Marte. They need his attitude, and they need his great big bat that just smacks those home runs.
Yeah, and here's the thing is with the best second baseman in the country,
Yes.
in the league.
Right?
And he's just got swagger.
He's got swagger.
And he brings it to the game.
Yeah,
so it
he
just
really
adds
does.
a level of excitement.
The thing is, if you're going to those games, at certain times of the year, you go to Chase Field. They got the new air conditioning working. Everything is great. But, by the way, 1 block away where the Suns play, have you seen the new screen, Celeste? Holy cow, this looks really exciting. So it's almost a football field in length, and it's obviously
That's
curved.
amazing.
And so it's about 220 feet long. A football field is 300 feet long. It's 4 stories high. And here's what I'm visualizing.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be like, what do they call that garden area in Milwaukee when the Bucks are playing on the road and thousands of people come down and watch the games on the big screen there?
That's a
And
good
the
question.
crowd of they could get 20,000 people just on their outdoor plaza there to watch it. This is what it will be like when the Suns are in the playoffs, but they're on the road. Thousands of people will come downtown to see it in multivision.
And they'll just be standing there and cheering.
Yeah.
Can you see kind of like the NBA championship already?
I hope so, Celeste. I've been a Suns fan for so long. Oh, by the way, they say they are going to get it all wrapped up. Don't worry about the timing. They're going to have it set and ready to go by the All-Star game.
Woohoo.
Now, Celeste, by the way, the NBA All-Star game is here in town next February, perfect time of year. So there's a story out there that parents are discovering as they go out to do their back to school shopping for their kids this year, that there's a little bit of a 90s vibe
Yes.
going on, kind of that neon look, you know, the look of the 90s.
Well, there's just like straight leg jeans, sneakers when you want to dress up. You wear sneakers with your
right.
outfit.
Would you have leggings? Weren't those
tights,
fluffy
even
leggings
tights or
like
some
a thing?
fluffy?
back in-
Like you mean
like socks? You know, like big
oh,
old
like
socks?
leg warmers.
Yeah.
Yeah, leg warmers were a thing.
Well, so anyway, it got us talking about how about in our school days?
Yeah.
Are there some looks that we could suggest to whoever the people are that decide upon fashion and those kinds of things? And so we have a couple of old school photos.
from the 90s. Well, yours is old school, and mine is a little bit of new school.
Mine was not from the 90s. More like the 60s. Roll it. Here we go. All right. So, Celeste, I'm suggesting more boys have their moms do the bowl cut.
Aw. You know what, though? This is actually a handsome bowl cut.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, when I think of, some people may think of like Dumb and Dumber, you know, Jim Carrey with the bowl cut. That
Right.
was a little bit more extreme.
Sure.
This, you can see your mother actually like feathered the bottom.
I
Like,
think so, Mom. You
Wait,
did so great.
Love you, Mom.
Love you, Mom. Okay, let's see. Anyway, that's sort of a
So-
look from the 60s. I do think that T-shirt style with the stripes has already kind of come back. How about you, Celeste?
So I pulled up an AI-generated
Oh,
image,
my
Ron.
gosh. Of
To
course,
show
it's
you-
you at the Capitol waiting to meet, I don't know, John Thune or something?
Probably.
Ted Cruz?
So these
Elizabeth Warren? Who?
These are a couple of different 90s fashion trends that are back.
Okay.
The one is the blazer over the sweater.
Yeah.
Okay, kind of over your shoulders. The other is a straight leg jean, and the other is the sneaker, even though you're kind of dressed up top.
I like that look.
So you have the
Celeste.
pearls. So the 90s was like about switching it up with both a little bit of cash and a little bit of dressy. And so that's coming back.
Okay.
The blazer's back, the oversized over the shoulder type thing with the pearls and the sneaks.
Okay. So that's our suggestion for the people in wherever, Milan or
I think
somewhere.
that's
in the-
Milan, Ron. I
where
think
they-
you're right.
Where they decide on the next year's trends.
Anywhere I can hang out where there's a chandelier, I'm there.
Good. And then me, I'm pretty sure my mom cut my hair, but I do have a
I
memory
love
that
that.
at least one of my aunts would occasionally cut my hair
Yes.
too. Anyway, speaking of haircuts, Celeste.
Yes.
What is the going rate nowadays for a lady to go in there, put that 3-hour commitment on the line, and get her hair done?
Okay, my sister does my hair. So I get to go to her house and she gives me a great rate.
I love your sister,
Okay,
by the way. I know your sis.
Yeah,
She's
you do know
amazing.
my
Yeah,
sis.
yeah.
I love her. And so
Has she ever
I
messed
do that.
up, or I mean, is it good,
not-
solid work?
It's good, solid work.
Okay, good.
But maybe I don't know. I don't look in the back, so I don't know what looks back. But I think the going rate for a female, I think a lot of women pay for cut, color, trim, the whole 9.
Yeah.
Is somewhere around $300 to $400.
Oh my God.
Which is
300.
insane.
Well, I'll tell you, Celeste, you don't even know this about me, but I'm a little bit tight with a dollar.
No.
Yes. And so I actually quit going to this one hair cutting place because they had jumped up to like $30.
Are they watching right now?
It might have even been 35.
The
So I found another
audacity.
place for $20.
Yeah.
Because guys, if you're spending more than about $25,
Yeah.
you're spending too much.
And so what's the barber like at the $20 spot? Do you get to chat with them? Do they chat with you? Do they know you around there?
They know that I come in. They know that I'm on TV, but I don't speak Spanish,
Oh,
and they don't really speak English.
Ron,
so
my
I just show
people-
a photo.
my people do a great job.
They do. I love my haircut.
My people are hard workers.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a new study came out, and here's what it says. These are the states where it's the costliest to get your hair cut. This came from Wallet Hub, just came in a couple hours ago. And what they did is they took the average price of a haircut, men and women's combined. I know they're two
Yes.
completely different prices, but you average it out versus what their income is. And they said that based on that, people in Arkansas are paying almost 2% of their entire income on haircuts,
That's a lot of money.
1.63%. Next was North Carolina, Mississippi, New Mexico, and then Florida. Now, Florida's a boom area.
Yeah.
I get that maybe Arkansas, Mississippi, North Carolina, et cetera, those states have been shown to be more closer to a poverty level.
Okay, so let me. This is my anecdotal. This
Okay.
is very unscientific.
That's us.
My thoughts, though, on the fact I don't know where New Mexico came in, but Arkansas, North Carolina, Mississippi, and Florida.
Yeah, and New Mexico.
And New Mexico. As a woman with longer hair than you,
Yeah.
my hair gets frizzy. And so if I might need to go to the hairdresser more often.
okay.
Like it depends on the humidity in the South.
Right.
Like Florida's got
That's a good point,
90%
Celeste.
humidity. We've got friends in Florida. We go out and visit them. It's like 90% humidity.
I know, man.
I mean, it's
you're drenched in
humid.
sweat in 5 minutes.
You are.
By the way, Arizona is on the top 20. This is the list you don't be on. You don't want to be number 1 or 2 or 3. We're in the top 20. They say almost 1.4% of our monthly income gets spent on haircuts. Now,
Ron, hold on.
what?
Kate Turbo said Ron got the landscaper cut. And then Low Philosophy said, I want to see Ron in that barber shop.
Okay. Yeah, the last time I left, the guy just pointed to the TV like, okay, you say where I got my haircut. Anyway,
And then
I love those guys.
we've got one more comment, Ron.
Okay.
Paul Humphrey says, my wife buzzes my head.
Good.
Well, hey, you know what? If you like it and she likes it and she
Right.
likes you that way and you're
Yes.
saving money,
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You're saving
Believe
money.
me, I remember my college days. You found out who the girls were that were cutting hair.
Yes.
And you just went there.
yeah, and if they were cute, maybe they gave you a good deal.
Yeah,
You're like,
maybe I took them
"Hey."
out on a date. Maybe
There
it
you
all worked
go.
out perfectly. But anyway, here are 5 very quick ways for you to save money on your hair care. Celeste, do you have that? I
Yes,
gave it to you.
right. Yep, got it.
Okay. Number 1, give it 1 extra week. If you go, once every 4 weeks? Give it once every 5.
Yeah, be shaggy for 1 week. You're
There you
good.
go. Look for coupons because, in a lot of these mailers, do you go to your mailbox ever?
No.
Yeah, well, there's the mailers. Then the other couple are to get your hair cut by students.
I love that idea because
Yes.
there's great students who do a great job.
Yeah.
Or cut it yourself.
I'm curious about that one. I can see it going very wrong.
We should try it live on the show, Ron. Here's your mystery camera. We'll be right back.
Bye. Okay, stand by. Stand by just a second here. We have pictures from A Mountain. Man, it was crawling with students this morning, Celeste.
Oh, my
Oh,
goodness.
Sun Devil pride was just bursting through your brains, I
Yes,
bet you, huh?
it was. Fear the fork, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Bringing back
Students
times.
climbing up there nice and early. Don't worry. It's not like they're up there at 2 in the afternoon. In fact, they went up, I think, at like 6 in the morning, something
Yeah,
like that.
early. And one of the students, Ron, said that there's a bunch of freshmen up there.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's a tradition. And she said that she can't wait to start classes tomorrow. She has an 8 a.m. class. I thought, well, wait until her, give her about 6 weeks. She's going to have more 1:40 p.m. classes as opposed to an 8 a.m. class as a college student.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Anyway, it's just fantastic. This is tradition of painting the letter up there on the butte, the Tempe Butte, for over 80 years. It's been going on, and it is just super cool. It starts the school year, but it also gets everybody ready for Sun Devil football. By the way, Celeste, we had a great comment come in. Dave, did you hear what Dave said? Something about?
Yeah.
Oh, let me just
So
look here.
let me-
Patrick Perry, right?
Yeah,
What
Patrick Perry.
What did Perry say?
And I think K Turbo both had. Patrick Perry said, been watching since May. And so, oh, no, that's a different one.
Patrick says we used to watch the Today Show. That's still on, right?
Oh, I think it is.
And now, for weeks, we have just been watching Fox 10 Talks in the morning.
Thank you. Oh,
Okay, Turbo 09. Hold on, let's just go to Dave. Dave's got
Big
it.
D.
What is it, Dave? Work the other mic, buddy. The big one,
you
yeah.
got it.
Okay, what was it there?
We love this comment. K Turbo 09 says they don't have this much fun on Channel 12. You're watching the best. And we would just correct it. They don't have this much fun anywhere. It's just
There you
Fox
go.
10 Talks, people. Tune
Good.
in.
Are we having fun or are we just out of control?
probably
It's
a little bit
pretty
of both.
close.
A little bit of both.
Most days, yeah.
Well, I almost talked about. I'm glad you stopped me. I mean, Patrick Perry was talking about his hernia repair or something. We're hoping you're healthy.
This is where we go off the rails. Patrick, we wish you the best with the hernia.
We love you and your family, and that you hang with us.
Because, we want to hang out with you every day. Okay, so here's the big local story. We already had the big one from out there in Mesa with the little toddler, heartbreaking. But the big political story is that Prop 212 is off the ballot. So it was that proposed ballot initiative. It got struck down by the Arizona State Supreme Court. It would have restricted eligibility for the ESA, what's ESA? It's the Empowerment Scholarship Accounts, so that basically the money goes with the student, whether that student goes to a public school, a charter school, is homeschooled, etc. But the lower court had ruled that the supporters of the measure didn't get enough valid signatures to get on the ballot. So the justices affirmed the lower court's ruling. Prop 212 is off the ballot, and you got to believe people have opinions about it. So here we go. The prop to put restrictions on the ESA program is off the ballot. What's your take? 63% say it's good. School choice should thrive in Arizona. 36% say it's bad. There are so many problems with ESA. 1% took that third option. Always a few people who do. There should be some changes, but this particular prop went too far.
So this one actually closely aligns with what we're seeing on TV. Let's take a look at our YouTube poll question this morning. This is rare that we see the two polls align because there's different audiences. The one on YouTube, primarily online, of course, and the one that we just showed you that Ron was talking about is primarily on television, where you can scan the QR code. So right now, 69% say good, school choice should thrive in Arizona. Ron, I believe we skipped the mystery camera.
Celeste.
We had
Keep
some
me back on track. Okay, do we have an answer on the mystery cam?
We have,
do we have some
few,
guesses?
We have some guesses, and
Okay.
we don't want to hold people up.
And we don't want to worry them because this guy's coming up in about 20 seconds
Big
here
D.
with your comments. But first, Celeste, what do you got?
We've got a South Carolina from Christine
I
Carroll.
could see that.
South Carolina. We've got a Georgia from Unique Jules,
Okay.
as well as Costas Favela. And let's see, Texas from B. Miguel, and a
Is
Maryland from Thomas Brown.
Is Costas Favela Thomas's family member? Because we have Thomas Favela every day.
Maybe they're primos.
Okay.
Yeah, that is Ron.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Best buddies.
Cousins.
Oh, Claire.
But they're probably best buddies. too.
Anyway, all right.
Amigos.
I am going to go with South Carolina. How about you?
I'm going to go with Georgia on this one.
All right, here
Okay.
she comes, everybody. This is Celeste now.
Vamos, amigos.
Okay.
Primos.
Okay.
Brookhaven, Georgia.
So we were all wrong. We went through that whole. We went back to the. Did anybody even guess Georgia?
Yeah, we had several, and I guessed
Okay,
Georgia.
thank you. Okay. Celeste, I'm still just trying to learn the difference between primos and amigos.
And amigos, okay.
All right,
You can be an amigo and a primo.
Let's
by
go
the
to
way.
Dave and get out of this right now.
All right, guys. Good job. Keep the comments coming on fox10phoenix.com/poll as well as on YouTube. Ben and Gilbert says if parents want their kids to go to a private school, that should come out of the parents' pockets, not put on taxpayers. Steve Zielonko says in New Hampshire they've had a school funding issue the 3 decades I've been here. The Republican solution is to take state tax money and funnel it to private and religious schools in the form of vouchers. Mostly the folks already sending their kids to private schools are benefiting. It's just another break for the wealthiest among us. And Burkhart Law says if destroying public schools is your goal, then Arizona is on a great path. Really interesting comments. Keep them coming, guys.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Big D. Now, finally, Celeste, we get to our
Yes.
guest, Emma Thomas.
Emma, nice to see you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
You work with Cornerstone Healing Center. You said there's a couple of different locations around the valley, right?
Yes.
And speak right into this mic if you don't mind, just
Absolutely.
like a radio show.
Yep.
There's been a lot of chatter with the Clancy trial taking place and the issue of postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis. People may know it at home as kind of like you think of baby blues type thing. Can you describe what is postpartum psychosis? What's the difference between that and depression?
Yeah, absolutely. So there is a very big difference with psychosis, postpartum psychosis. It affects approximately 1 of 2 new mothers out of every 1,000 who have a child, and the big distinguishing factor is they have a complete break from reality. So they might be really confused. They might say something's not right. Meanwhile, everything's totally fine. They may be neglecting sleep. Even when baby is sleeping, they just choose to almost stay awake and appear wired, things like that. Whereas the postpartum depression is more centered around that extreme guilt, that feeling like you can't get up, the extreme fatigue, much like you would see with depression symptoms.
And so, are there tip-offs ahead of time, or for most women who go through this, is it a complete shock to them and to their loved ones that they're experiencing this, especially after baby number 1?
Yeah, that's a great question. Something that we do see is there are some psychiatric kind of precursors to it. So if you do struggle with mental health before having a child, it's always a good idea to plan ahead with your doctor and talk about some of those symptoms that you may have been experiencing, especially those that have bipolar. There's studies that show there's a little more link to bipolar and postpartum psychosis than other mental illnesses. Additionally, a lot of women do need to be, their psych meds may need to be altered while pregnant, and making sure that you have a good routine with your doctor afterwards as well is very important.
It's a heartbreaking case, I think, that kind of has really just broken the country.
The triple murder trial of Lindsay Clancy now enters a new phase.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian.
Okay, go ahead, Celeste.
but
This is the Lindsay Clancy trial. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think as we watch kind of what takes place, it is heartbreaking to hear the stories. And I think this is her mother right here taking the stand that happened earlier this week. We talked about how you said it's a horrible case, but it's a great opportunity for us to have this conversation about something that we don't talk about very much.
Yeah. Something I want to point out is sometimes there's a lot of shame that surrounds a mother feeling a certain way towards her child. And one of the best things that we can do is actually check in with them, get a clear view on their mental health, have partners recognize symptoms prior to, and get the support, especially with postpartum psychosis. The symptoms can come on very fast. It's important that we all know that that is a medical emergency. You do need to get your loved one to a emergency room or something like that right away.
Right
yes.
to an ER.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, when it comes to dealing with it, maybe you have a few, obviously no names or anything like that, but have you had some success stories along the way?
Absolutely. We, at Cornerstone, we have worked with people who, are living with postpartum depression or postpartum anxiety. And what we do is we really help support that person through both kind of psychiatric care and through therapy. And people can fully recover from this as well, which is very important to know. It is not something that they need to live with for the rest of their lives. If we get it addressed and taken care of right away, you can have a full recovery.
When you're working with someone in this case, is it kind of like other situations, like high blood pressure, diabetes, or like you're trying out different types of medication, and does it affect the people differently? Like what works with one patient may not work for another?
That can be very true. Something I will say is I do not prescribe medication, so I can't speak on that part.
Yeah.
But what I can speak on is everyone does deserve individualized care based on their past psychiatric symptoms or their past psychiatric diagnoses leading to where they are now, and to get to the goal of being back with their child and being, the best parent they can be.
I'd always had the impression that if it were to come on, it's soon after the baby is born. And yet in the Lindsay Clancy case, this is I believe it was 3 children. So we're going back to her first child would have been years and years ago. Did I just have it all wrong? I thought it came on shortly after baby was born, but can it come on years later?
So typically, especially with postpartum psychosis, we do see it within the first 2-ish weeks after having a child.
Yeah.
However, with that being said, it is very much a case-by-case kind of situation, right? Where people do go get help, people do seek help, and then the symptoms can come on very fast as well. So it can present as something different. People can say, let's just give it a little bit, let's see if it gets better. The thing with postpartum psychosis is it never gets better until you get the help.
Okay. How can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, absolutely. Going on Cornerstone Healing Center website, looking up mental health addiction on Google, anything like that. We're more than happy to help.
All right, Emma, thank you so much for all you do.
Thank
you
you
for coming in. I really appreciate it.
Hope
Thank
we
you
made
for
the
having me.
difference today.
Yeah.
Emma, thanks. We'll be back in 2 minutes. All right, everybody. There you go.
Do you know where this is, Ron?
Well, didn't we already announce it?
Yeah,
Celeste?
do you remember?
Arkansas.
Georgia.
Oh, Georgia. Oh, wait, Arkansas, that was yesterday. Anyway,
Eureka Springs.
one of them
yeah.
down that way. Would that cover it?
It's one of them down that way that spends at least 2% of their income, as we found out earlier this hour, on hair care.
Oh, boy.
And Ron, there's folks in the chat that are saying they want your barber to come in and they want us to, they want to meet your barber.
Next time it's time for my haircut,
Hell,
I'll just warn
we'll
you.
do
It
it
won't
live
even,
on the air.
It won't even fill a whole segment. I can be done in 5 minutes.
Maybe he'll
With
get
this head of hair?
Maybe
Come
he
on,
wants to.
Celeste.
He can work on my bangs after he does you.
Oh,
He can
okay.
work on my
All right.
bangs.
Why do we have popcorn sitting here and those delicious-looking Harkins cups? That's
so
because
amazing.
Jessica is here, and we're going to talk to her in about 2 minutes.
Yes, we are.
About the very latest happenings over there at Harkins. But first, we do want to talk about a couple of other stories that sure have people talking. So they had this just horrible hurricane, Celeste, going into last weekend in Hawaii. You'll see it here. There's this neighborhood where it looks like most homes got through it okay, and for some reason, one home literally got the roof ripped right off of it. And this poor lady, you'll hear it. Here we go.
The pouring of support is
sad.
there's no words that me, my mom, or nephew, all of us that care for her can say. For real. Thank all of you. If I could hug every single one of you, I would.
Oh, man. I mean, she's standing right there in her kitchen in what used to be her home, and you're just looking up at the blue sky above. There's when it got a little stormier right there. But anyway, the family's, dealing with this. I would imagine they have insurance. I sure hope so. But Hurricane Lala, she returned home to her house there in the Honolulu area, and the roof got bent back. There it is right there.
Oh,
so you're looking down. It looks to me like it's a double wide, but is she on the one side? It just picked up that part of the roof and flipped it right over.
Yeah, it really did.
I don't know if we'll get the wide shot, but in this neighborhood, most of the other homes look like they came out of the whole situation okay.
And the wild thing is, it also took out streets and bridges, so you have communities completely cut off from grocery stores and things like that.
Yeah.
So they're hoping that that's kind of like the first order.
Yep. So there is a GoFundMe. It's already raised more than $10,000. Her name, by the way, is Alice Ome. Oh, there's the rest of the neighborhood. I mean, some damage, but nothing like what Alice went through. Alice Ome. And there is a GoFundMe set up for her. Speaking of the weather, we did have Crystal say today, keep an eye out for stormy skies. But these pictures, Celeste, these are shelf clouds. You know about these, right?
Yes, and these are them right here. So they're hanging low across the skies there. This video out of Alabama. It comes as strong thunderstorms in the region continue to slowly roll toward the coast. And it made for a beautiful, it looks like sunset there. But the National Weather Service says these storms are expected to gradually relax in coverage and intensity. And get ready, because we could see a small chance of storms here locally in Arizona this coming weekend, which means it would be a good day for a movie.
Yeah, it would. Oh, speaking of movies, did you hear this whole situation with Spider-Man?
What's that?
This is our perfect intro to Jessica. Tom Holland, it looks like he's going to make from this one movie in excess of $100 million.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So almost as much as you.
Celeste, thank you. I saw you were looking on my computer. Now you know. Anyway, the story is that he took a lower base salary. Up front, but then said, "But I'll take a kind of a cut of the overall movie, and we'll just see how it goes." Boy, did he make the right call there.
Yeah, no kidding.
They're saying this is from the Odyssey, actually from Spider-Man, but the Odyssey actor as well. I mean.
Yeah, he was in that one.
He's the hottest name going right now.
He really is. He's on everything.
So, good for him. Spider-Man has already made about $1 billion on the big screen. So, worldwide. Looks like he's getting 10% of the action.
Yeah. So speaking of movies, we've got Jessica Reeves here with Harkins in studio. Jessica, it's good to see you.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Yeah, good morning. So you brought some popcorn and this wonderful train and a couple of drinks. You guys have something really interesting. It's a movie called Finding Emily, right?
Yes, it's a movie called Finding Emily. It comes out August 27th. And a lot of the team had an opportunity to see it and thought it was just really fun and cute and sweet. So we're doing a couple of different promotions. And one right now, on August 27th at our Campbellview at Fashion Square location, we're actually inviting anybody named Emily to come out, bringing an honorary Emily as well. So that way, two people can come for a free movie and seeing Finding Emily, and also a free popcorn. So if anybody is listening and watching and is named Emily or knows an Emily, have them DM us on social, and we'll send you a link to get your free tickets.
Oh, slide into Harkins' DM,
Yes.
Ron.
Do it. It's such a brilliant idea. Was it your idea? Was it Dan's? Who came up with this one?
It was part of the team. We were all brainstorming on ideas of what we could do for the movie, and we thought, well, it's called Finding Emily. We should probably find some Emily's.
And it's a pretty common name, so there's probably a lot of Emilys watching.
It is. We did this big Google search of the number of Emilys born in each decade and make sure that there's enough Emilys out there. And then also what we're doing for anyone named Emily, if you see the film between August 27th and September 2nd, and you're a Harkins Awards member, you're going to get a free popcorn. So all sorts of fun if you're named Emily for the movie Finding Emily.
Okay.
Maybe we should change our name to Emily. Ron,
Just for the day.
you can be Emily Hoon.
What I should have done was, before I went to go see Young Washington, I should have changed my name to George.
You should have.
Probably could have waltzed right in.
Right? You never know.
I love that at your Queen Creek Theater, and there was a good crowd.
Yeah,
who had been there
and
for weeks.
It's
I love that
interesting.
movie.
You know, we always hear when we've chatted with Dan and you about the history of Harkins here in Arizona. It's been around for so long. Congratulations on all your success. But you guys are branching out. We were live at your location, I think, up at near Norterra. What's going on there? Because that's kind of a state-of-the-art facility now.
It really is. We just did a full remodel of our Harkins Norterra location, and that includes adding our Cine XL screen, which is our premium large format screen with Dolby Atmos sound, pristine laser projection, ultimate loungers. We also have ultimate loungers in all auditoriums there. Added a Cinebar so you can get a fun movie-themed cocktail or your favorite craft beer or wine to enjoy during the movie. And we also added Arizona's first and only 4D E-motion auditorium. So that's where you really are immersed in the movie. You sit in your seat and it moves. You get the vibrations, a little shot of water, some air.
Yeah, it's like a ride.
Coming all around.
Wow.
It's like a ride
It's
while
like
you're
I'm on
watching
Soaring
the
over
movie.
California or something. Huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so much fun. So we've been showing Odyssey, Spider-Man in there. We're also going to be doing some really fun bringbacks. So Fast and the Furious, Cars. So if you check out Harkins.com or the Harkins app, you can see all of the fun movies that we're going to show in 4D emotion.
Isn't that cool?
Let's. So we have.
Yeah.
Is this something that people can buy when they go to the movie?
We do a lot of fun bring back series at Harkins.
Okay.
So to celebrate Harry Potter anniversary, we're bringing back all of the Harry Potter films starting on August 27th, one film per day for 8 days. But we're also doing some really cool movie themed collectibles that we brought the Hogwarts Express with us today. You can see that it holds a lot of popcorn in it.
Yeah.
And we also have a fun broom. And
how cute.
I know, they're so cute. So, movie themed collectibles are all the rage right now. So we make
cocktails,
and
probably.
cocktails too. That is very true. So we always make sure we have the very best ones at Harkins.
Yeah, and you have a great deal on your cups as well.
We do. This is a Harkins Loyalty Cup, and we are getting ready in the beginning of November to debut the new design. $3 refills every time you come to the movies with your Harkins Loyalty Cup.
Oh, wow, that is
Yeah,
so great.
that's
Now,
so neat.
The thing about it is, I think we have a clip here from Finding Emily. So let me just roll it, because
Yes.
some people maybe have heard about it but haven't seen anything. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, it's really fun. This college student meets a girl named Emily one night, but gets her number wrong. So he decides that he is going to go find Emily. And one of the things that he does is he emails the whole university, not on BCC, but openly to all of the Emilys,
Oh, my
trying
goodness.
to find the right one. And he makes a friend that helps him on the adventure to find this Emily. So the movie's really fun, lighthearted, and just a really great time.
What a cool movie. That sounds like it would be spectacular. So.
And it's been such a good summer for you guys.
It really has been.
People are back. They're back
They
to the movie theaters.
They are. You know, and we've been having such a great time inviting guests to see us for these big blockbusters. I mean, you had the beginning of the year with Project Hail Mary with Ryan Gosling that was huge. And then you went into summer with a lot of really great children's films with the live action Moana, Toy Story 5. And then, of course, like we were just talking about, Spider-Man Brand New Day and Odyssey. And it's going to continue through the year. You know, we have Practical Magic 2 coming up, where we're actually hosting a fun movie party. Verity, based on Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel, also hosting a fun movie party for that. And then big films with Tom Cruise and Digger. Of course, as you go into the holidays, you have Avenger Doomsday, Dune Part 3, which we just put tickets on sale yesterday, and they're going like that. So a huge set of blockbuster movies coming this year.
Yeah, and I think Odyssey, it's one of those films I feel like that is generational. Like for teenagers or young people who are watching, they're going to go, "Oh, I remember watching that movie."
Yeah.
Because you know, there was a bit of a lull with some movies maybe during COVID because people weren't heading out after the pandemic, and I feel like we're just like moving forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, plus it's one of 40 theaters in the world, your IMAX theater, where you can actually go and really experience.
You can see IMAX 70 millimeter at our Harkins Arizona Mills location, and tickets are still flying, and people are really enjoying it. And we've actually extended the run further into August, so that way you can get your tickets, and continuing to add showtimes.
Wow,
amazing.
that's so great.
Jessica, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Hey, by the way,
great
do you
stuff.
remember an old movie called Babe, Pig in the City? Remember that? Look at this.
Yes.
We got a pig on the loose as we close our show.
Oh
This
my
is
gosh,
like
look at
real
that
life
little guy.
Babe, Pig in the City.
Oh.
And so, I mean, look at that.
He's like having so fun. He's like Free Willy out there.
Look.
Oh, what a sweetheart.
Oh, he backs right up. He's like, no, I don't like the look
He's
of
like-
that vehicle. This is so great. Okay, so this was, you can't miss with animal highlights.
Never.
Never.
Or you can't miss ending with animal
Oh,
highlights.
look out. There's that car. Look, he scoots right around it.
All right. Thank you for watching, everyone. Jessica, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
All right. Head to the movies. Stay cool, everyone. Anita and Ty are next.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go again.
Indeed.
Do you know the rest of that?
No.
Girls, what's my weakness? Men.
I literally had no idea what's happening.
Salt and
right now.
pepper.
Oh.
There you go. Now do you get it?
Sure.
you
There
go.
are some songs that I have memorized to the core, like Vanilla Ice.
But we're not
Ice,
allowed
baby.
to sing them, remember?
Even on here?
Yeah, even on here.
Hi.
All right, welcome on in. Should we start over?
No. Hi, everyone.
Okay.
Welcome to our jam-packed Wednesday show, Fox 10 Talks at 11.
All right, we brought in Crystal because there are some changes on the horizon. I mean, we're continuing to talk about excruciating heat.
It is
really nonstop
it's
in
hard.
that 10-day.
Yeah.
But now we've got some dust storm watches.
Advisory.
Advisories.
Yes, yeah.
What's the difference?
Well, the advisory,
invested.
there's a couple things. Part of it is visibility based, and then advisories typically you'll see put out like a little bit earlier, although they could be put out like as something's happening. But this one put out obviously for later today. It's for 5 to 10 o'clock. So I'll pull that map up in a second. But there's the view of what downtown Phoenix looks like right now. Nice blue sky, and as Ty said, it's so hot. Part of the issue though is we're not talking temperatures that are 118 or anything like that, but it's humid.
Well, that's what I was
So
going to. Can I ask you a
thick.
question?
I can try to answer it.
I thought when we would start to see these temperatures increase, those humidity levels would decrease, right?
Well, if we
No.
were getting up to like the 118s, then
Then we would.
yeah,
Okay.
usually that's how it happens. Is if we're drier, then we will see that temperature a little higher. But the humidity levels are helping to keep us at a 110 instead,
Yeah.
lucky us.
Yeah.
But with the heat index, or like the heat index, what it feels like to our bodies, it still feels like miserable outside, just really hot because the air feels so thick. So right now the temperature is at 102. It's not quite as hot as yesterday.
We should have done it. We should have guessed.
I
again.
know.
It's all right.
Wow.
Next time.
Because yesterday we were at 106 already, I
Yeah.
believe it was.
Because we
hit-
both guessed 103.
And we hit 114 yesterday, but the humidity levels were a little lower yesterday. And then today they'll be a bit higher, but the forecast high isn't quite as high. So we're at 102 right now, winds are out of the south, 8 miles per hour. And then this is our humidity tracker, so that dew point temperature is in the middle 60s. Basically, once the dew point's over 60, like you're really feeling it. Middle 50s is enough for us to have storm potential, but middle 60s is, it's muggy out there. It's not like the tropical feel that we have seen a couple times this year, but it's getting pretty close. So it just feels very muggy out there. So I'm going to walk through the future cast. I'm going to start just with the valley, and then I can show the statewide as well. But what I wanted to show is that we're watching a couple of things. During the monsoon, one of the ways that we get some of the bigger storms is when you get moisture running down from the mountains, mostly like north or east of the valley. And at the same time, you get outflows that come up from the south. Those are the strong winds. And that kind of combo effect can create some really pretty good storms over us. And we do have the possibility of that happening today. What that means, though, is that we have to get both these ingredients for us to actually get any wet weather. So it's not a guarantee. But the model here shows like 5 o'clock or so. There's some showers and storms that are approaching the mountains directly to the east of the valley, not like necessarily in the valley yet, but approaching to the east. And then that moisture starts to creep in about the same time that you get some outflow winds lifting up from the south. So if those two can combine and hit the timing right, then around like 8, 9 o'clock at night, we have the potential for some scattered showers and thunderstorms, some of which could be on the stronger side. And then those would kind of fizzle past 10, 11 p.m. in the evening. Now, regardless of whether we actually do get the moisture combo, it looks like the winds coming from the south is a fair bet, especially the farther south you go. So Pima County, Pinal County, but all the way up to that far southern edge of the valley is under a blowing dust advisory. These were put out by the National Weather Service offices in Phoenix and in Tucson because of the stretch that we're looking at that's under it. When you have blowing dust advisories, you're talking visibility that drops below a mile, and you're talking wind gusts that are starting to strengthen as well. For the valley, could be upwards of 35 miles per hour, and the farther south you go, could be more like gusts of 45 to 55 miles per hour. There's the closer look. I wouldn't like hard line, like if you're north of the 202, no dust for you, and south that you do get it. I wouldn't say it's like that, but what you're getting the idea of is that we're kind of on the cusp of this happening. So it's not a guarantee, but there is the possibility of that blowing dust. So I thought it was like a good time to do a little reminder. If you hear that there is a dust storm warning, which means it's actively happening, or you can see dust, my recommendation is to not drive or to pull over if you see the dust coming your way. But if you get stuck in a dust storm, then what you need to do is pull off to the side of the road, turn your lights off. So you're taking your foot off your brake and you're turning the e-brake on. The reason you're doing that is you don't want those like red lights illuminated, because what tends to happen is people can't see, but they do see the red lights and they go, I'll follow that guy, and then run into them. So if you can turn off the brake or take your foot off the brakes, put the e-brake on, then you're in a better situation. Wait it out until visibility improves, but if you cannot pull over, there's no space for that. You're driving slowly, you're leaving your lights on, you are honking from time to time to let people know where you are, and then following the center line as best you can. That's like your safest bet when it comes to the dust storm. storm potential. So just a heads up, that's what we're looking at as we head through the evening, is that storm chance. The temperatures are also quite hot, 110 in Phoenix, 96 in Sedona, and like 97 in Globe. So pretty much across the board, we're looking pretty toasty, and we're looking at some possible dust.
That graphic was excellent.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'm very impressed by that.
I appreciate
the
it.
fact that you could still see the car through the dust.
You know, I don't want to talk about how long it took me to get that to work.
That was
looks good,
really
though.
good.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
We're going to move along to what you're reading. These are the top 3 most read web stories right now on fox10phoenix.com. And the first one is this. We're getting additional details. Such a sad story about Hayden Panettiere dying at the age of 36. We did an interview with our friends over at TMZ. And according to an interview with EMS, they said, quote, "I observed Zach," which is the brother of her on-again, off-again boyfriend, Brian. And they said, "I observed Zach to be very emotional while EMS were working on Hayden. Brian did not become emotional until EMS declared her officially deceased." So kind of some chilling new details in her death.
Nancy Guthrie ransom notes contain repeated writing quirks that could help identify a suspect. Couple of different notes. 84-year-old mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie was taken from her home, northern Tucson, February 1st. They got a couple of notes. And there's an expert saying that the notes themselves may give the public something specific to look for. So we'll see if a little bit more is released on that. But that might be a characteristic that will help law enforcement find people. They're going to do some crowdsourcing on that one.
And then our number 3 most clicked on story on fox10phoenix.com. This was such a sad story. Arizona mom accused of leaving her 2-year-old son in a home garage with no AC. She is now being charged for child abuse, and thankfully that little boy is okay. But that is the top 3 most clicked on stories right now on fox10phoenix.com.
She texted the neighbor and said she had to leave because she wasn't feeling well. So the neighbor went over and was able to get the child out, thankfully. We'll keep you guys posted.
I dropped my phone. I
Go ahead, pick it up.
apologize.
Pick it
Kat,
up.
how are you?
We'll introduce Kat as a nice segue.
Sorry about that.
We're talking about Gen Z and relationships.
Yes.
They're not good at them?
No.
No?
But what I thought
No.
was weird in this article, they said that they know everything about relationships, like the
Yes.
red flags, the what to do,
Yes.
what not to do, but they
Yes.
don't want to pursue them, right?
That's correct.
Why do you think that is?
I don't think that they don't want to
Pursue
pursue
'em?
them. I think that they are somewhat accustomed to not having a lot of discomfort in their lives and relationships.
Can cause that.
Can cause that.
yeah.
And so I think that a lot of the dating advice out there is teaching, because they're consuming with social media and what's available to them. I think that part of the issue is that they're consuming other things like the red flags and things to look out for. But what happens when something happens in a relationship? How do I navigate that? How do I move through the discomfort? How do I communicate? So I think that people are so quick to be like, if they see, they're always trying to read
Observe,
between the
yeah.
lines, that the first thing that pops up, they go, "Oh, I'm out," versus being like, well, this person's human. Maybe, having that conversation with them and being like, this is the thing that I'm seeing. Let's talk about it. And
What's
they
the
don't do
age
that.
range of Gen Z?
I think Gen Z.
I always forget too. We Googled it the other day.
There's so many that I don't know anymore.
Well, I know that my son is on the cusp and he's 28.
Okay.
So
Older or younger, you think?
I think it's 28 to 18 or 17.
14 to 29, it says.
Born between 97 and 2012.
Okay,
14 to
97.
29.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, I
so
think we're
he's
talking
right
about
at the-
obviously the older,
older one.
Yes.
the older one.
Yes.
I was working with someone who said that they were talking about like online dating and how difficult it is to actually really get into a relationship, because it's so easy to swipe and connect and then chat, and then the other person might say something and you're like, nope, don't
That's
like
right.
you, don't like you.
Yep.
And immediately, like, that's a red flag. You don't like salads? Nope, don't like you. You don't like
That's
dogs?
right.
Nope, not gonna talk to you.
That's right.
And that makes it, he said, very difficult
Yes.
to date.
Yes,
Even
to
though
even get people off the app because of that. They have come up with a statistic that women only say yes to 5% of men's profiles, just in general. And men are more open. They're willing to, like 52 to 53% of men are willing to swipe right. But even to communicate, to start, even like women will say, if he says, hey, or how are you doing? She won't even respond. She'll just be like, it's not worth my time. So a lot of people are spending a lot of time on the apps, but less time connecting and moving people off.
Is it because of those red flags?
Yes, because of red flags, because they're looking for, everyone is so protected that they don't want to be vulnerable in any kind of capacity. So they're looking for all the reasons to say no instead of the reasons to say yes.
I feel like that's kind of a double-edged sword, though, isn't it?
It
Especially when
is.
it comes to dating, because you do want to have those guardrails up.
Right.
Because it's a weird world out there.
Right.
But at the other hand, you're not really giving anybody a real chance.
You're
kind of.
not.
You still have to let your guard down.
So it's kind of, they're kind of in a predicament
So you
then,
gotta
aren't they?
find
They
that
are.
halfway point.
Right. And so what I tell people is dating is a classroom. In order to learn more about a person, you have to allow them to reveal themselves to you over time. Now, if something happens, what I always tell people is just tag it, be like, okay, this could be possibly an issue. If you start to see a pattern, then yes, that is an absolute red flag. But if you're at the first moment that someone does something, we're human. Again, we're humans. We have to understand, we have to put humanity into this. So if you see a pattern, that's the red flag. But the only way you're going to learn, and if you really want to, because in relationships, both of you know you're married, things happen. How you navigate through those things together, that's the truth. And so in order to get to that point, you've got to allow a person to reveal themselves over time. If you see the red flags after a period of time, yes.
Let me ask you this, though, because I feel like more and more people are putting that moniker red flag on small little issues.
Oh.
And I feel like it is kind of the younger generations that's like red flag, and it's
That's
like,
right.
well,
Yeah, I'm running.
let's be honest here. Is that really a red flag, or is that
Right.
maybe just a little ick?
That's right.
But then again, is it personal to where,
Yeah.
like, if this person, I don't know, doesn't like dogs?
Oh, look, we're almost running out of time. Hold on. Can you stay
Hold
put?
that thought.
Yeah.
We're going to do our quick game real quick. Where's my button? I'll find it. What year was it? Hold on. We got 10
Okay.
seconds left. We
Here
can make
go.
this happen.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
19th Amendment is ratified, granting women the right to vote. What year?
Don't cheat.
All right, welcome back,
We just
you
wanted
guys.
to give you guys an extra few seconds to think about this one.
We got some good guesses. We got 1926, 1928, 1924, and a 1920. And I was going to probably say in the early 20s as well. So I'm kind of with all of our guessers there in the chat. Do you want to give a guess?
Well, Graham gave me a clue, and he said it was around the time the Cubs won the first World Series, which I believe.
The Cubs won the World Series a few years after.
A few years after.
Well, the Cubs, I think, if I'm remembering my Chicago roots, 1907-ish? No.
I think they won it a few years later.
A few years later than
okay.
that. All right. Well, let's just go ahead
Well,
and look
I'm going to guess somewhere around that is when women got their
Well, then
rights
say a
to
number.
vote. 1907.
1920.
Okay.
All right. Well, everybody in the chat was pretty close.
Yes, they were.
All right.
What did you guess?
I said early 20s. I didn't
Oh,
know
you
either.
were,
I just
you
went with
guessed
everybody
well.
else.
You're good at guessing.
Wow.
Yeah. What were we talking about with Kat? Where did we leave it off?
Just kind of talking about the red flags versus
Oh.
the icks. And it
Yeah.
just is like, I guess everybody's...
And then like how, I guess it's like when you're married, there are things you have to overlook. Otherwise,
That's right.
you're always going to argue and fight over stuff.
Right.
So when you're dating, are there icks that you should overlook or can overlook? What are the negotiables? But they're different for everyone.
They're different for
yeah.
everybody. And if you want to talk about icks, I think that icks are a reflection upon you and your own comfort, right? And what is it about the ick? It's not about the person. Like, I have a client right now who told me that his previous ex broke up with him because she didn't like the way he skipped.
Skipped?
Yes.
Well, why was
Why
he
were they
skipping?
skipping?
Well, I don't know. I
That
didn't
was-
ask for
that was
context.
my
I mean,
first question. Please go back. So that the next time
I'll
we
ask him if
visit,
he's watching this. I'll make sure and ask him.
I want you to come back and tell us why
Why
they
were you skipping?
Why grown adults? I assume they're grown adults.
Yes, they're grown
I can't
adults,
tell you
yeah.
the last time I skipped.
Well, Kat,
As a
you caught us off guard with that one.
I did. I know. I could tell.
Okay, you know what my thing is? Like
What?
loud chewing.
Okay.
Like if we're sitting at the kitchen counter eating and I can hear someone chewing.
She's going to go
I have
ballistic.
to leave I do. There's a commercial currently that runs and the guy's whispering like this and I have to turn it off. I have to leave the room when I hear these mouth noises.
I think that
Anyone else?
I think that people can tolerate icks as long as the person is they're secure, they're safe, they're your biggest cheerleader. Like when I don't deal with non-negotiables anymore in my work because non-negotiables are, I've seen people be like, I want somebody who's healthy and works out all the time, and then they meet this incredible person and maybe they don't work out all the time, but they say to themselves, it's worth it. So you have to decide whether or not this person's worth it. If you're going to break up with people because of mouth noises, that's fine. But just know that
It's not. I mean, it's a lot.
what
Mouth noises.
mouth noises are a lot. They're a lot.
We don't have time to get into
But
it
we
right
don't-
now. We can do a
we
whole
don't have
segment
time to
on,
get into
on
it.
Anita's
No.
icks.
But if you had somebody that you love, you can have that conversation with them about how it bothers you,
No, there's
right?
no conversation. So
No.
I
Right.
just leave.
That's okay. Well, then you're making that
I
compromise,
say you
right?
go
You're
on
leaving.
a date, you go out for coffee, and you see where it goes.
Yes, one date at a time.
Right?
There you go.
Allow people to reveal themselves to you over time.
Kat, how do folks find you and more info?
Oh gosh, more info. You can find me on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Kat Cantrell, and then ScottsdaleMatchmaker.com. And there are some imposters out there, so be careful.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a whole thing I'm going through right
bet.
now. Yeah.
I want you to come back and tell us more stories about skipping.
Yeah.
though.
Well, I thought we'd leave
and like
this.
things that like
We'd leave this open so you can skip out.
Ah!
We're ready for it.
I didn't say that I was a skipper.
I just
My
thought
client was a
She
skipper.
wasn't dating the guy.
Yeah.
I think that we should talk about compile a list of icks.
Yeah,
And just
let's
talk
do
about,
it.
And that way, I mean, like, what are icks?
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your icks?
Well, I got to come up with. I can't come up with them on top of my head, but we'll come up with them.
Okay.
Kat, great to
Bye,
see you
thank
as
you.
always. Thanks
Guys,
for
I
coming
love
in.
seeing you guys.
That
Thanks
was
so
fun.
much.
Thank you.
All right, we are going to move over to our next guest because did you know that coming up on the 21st is World Entrepreneurs Day? And so we are talking to an entrepreneur that turned his business into very successful
And we
business,
have so
flourishing
many,
business.
I mean, so many people are entrepreneurs. Kat, for example,
Yes.
owns her own business.
Mhm.
A lot of people, especially after COVID, kind of pivoted and started working for themselves. So we would love to introduce to you, I want to make sure, Pranav Dalal.
Yes.
Hello,
Correct.
how are you?
Hi, guys. How are you guys?
Good. So give us some stats. Tell me how many people in the United States, for example, are entrepreneurs.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, there's millions of entrepreneurs out there. 85% of businesses are small businesses. And you are correct. After COVID, entrepreneurship really flourished in the United States.
Pranav, can you just talk to us about your personal story, how you became such a successful entrepreneur and what your business is?
Yes, I started my company 25 years ago. So this is our 25th year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Wow, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, today, I started with 5 employees, and we now employ over 5,000 full-time employees globally.
Wow.
And I've kept it a private business, family business. Myself and my 2 older kids are in the business with me, and it's been going great so far.
So it's Office Beacon. That's their business,
That's
right?
correct.
So
Yes.
So what did you do prior to starting this that led you to saying, "Hey, I have this idea," that led you to 5 employees that took you down 25 years later?
Well, I did a million entrepreneurial jobs. I tried everything, but in late 2000, I came across a white paper from Deloitte and Touche that talked about remote staffing. So I was doing remote staffing well before remote staffing became a thing, during COVID and after COVID. And that's kind of what it clicked right away. And I felt that this was the right thing for me to do. Within a week, I started the company and I started cold calling and essentially growing the business organically for quite a period of time until we were able to really accelerate the business during COVID, actually.
So a lot of people are always like, I have this idea, or I wish I could do XYZ, and they kind of have that idea. So I guess my question to you is, how do folks take that idea and put it into action, kind of like you did? I mean, you started small and now you're a multi-million-dollar with so many employees across the globe. How do folks do that?
I feel that the biggest hindrance is just taking that chance and really taking the opportunity to go for it. And I think that's where people really stumble. And I think if you just have the guts to try and I think take that effort, really get out there, you're going to learn quickly. There's no real failure. It's really learning from everything that comes your way. And there was a lot of things that certainly came my way, a lot of adversity that I had to overcome. And it built that strength to keep going year after year.
There's a saying out there that says it takes money to make money. What if you have that $1 million idea, but you don't have the funding? How do you get started, and what path do you take if it's kind of difficult, or maybe you work full time and you work on your own dream part time? I mean, what are some of the ideas people can use to make it?
Well, I'll tell you, for myself, I started with $2,000
Wow.
and an idea, and I found ways to grow. And one interesting story I tell is that during the 2000s, real estate was prices were going up considerably, housing prices. And actually, for a period of about 3 years, I kept buying and selling homes, moving. My kids were very young, and essentially, I used that money to grow my business. So I found an inventive way to fund my own business without taking on equity partners or taking on debt. And that was one way to do it. So if you have a great idea, there's always going to be a way to be able to fund it and grow.
It sounds like you never gave up, and that is definitely key. Just don't give up. Keep going.
Absolutely. If your customers are responding, if you are getting sales, and that's really obviously the biggest factor, there's got to be a way to do it. And I found that for me, even with AI now, people thought, well, this is going to be very disruptive to a remote staffing company. I've actually looked at it the opposite way. I've taken on AI. We're actually accelerating our growth, and we find it to be actually helping our business, not actually damaging it. So there's always looking at things in a very positive way to pivot, no matter where your business takes you.
Can we ask about your son? I know that there's an important story to tell there, and the fact that you had your own business was helpful and beneficial in this situation.
Yeah, so a while back, my son, who's in my company now, working on our teams, he was riding his bike in our local city, and was hit by a car, and the car ran over his pelvis. It shattered his pelvis. At the time, I was a single parent of 3. Those are my 3 kids. And it really, the adversity of now pivoting my mindset to focusing on my company, growing that, and now focusing on my family and specifically him for pretty much an entire year, being at his bedside, helping him grow, recover. That was a lesson in adversity and resilience and leadership, because I had to build that resiliency, not to give up, not only for him, but for everyone that I was serving, my employees, my clients, my family, my daughters. And luckily he did recover, but it was a very, very stressful time, and taught me a lot about leadership and the trust you build personally with your family, and the trust you build with everyone you serve. And that was a lesson that taught me a lot about leadership and the adversity that everyone has in their lives, and how you overcome that, and how you just keep going and then get better at handling crisis when it comes your way.
All right.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. We really appreciate it. If folks want to get more information about your business, how can they do that?
Just come to www.officespeakin.com and contact us. We'd love to hear from your viewers.
All right. Good for you. 25 years. Congratulations.
That's a huge
Thank you.
milestone for
Yeah,
sure.
it is.
We appreciate your insight this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
A lot of comments in the chat. People agree with me with the mouth noises, by the way.
there
I know
you go.
you do too.
Yeah, there you go. Watch out for those mouth noises.
American Airlines, really quickly.
Do we have time?
Yeah,
Sure.
We've got a few seconds. They're going to bring back those screens on the back of the seat. And you mentioned at one time on the plane you were watching a movie. Go ahead.
Well, just recently, Celeste and I were talking about this on the morning show, that, you got to watch out for what you're watching, because everybody else is kind of maybe looking at your screen
Watching at
too.
your screen,
And I watched that new movie, what's it called? Like The Housemaid. And there's a very spicy scene in there.
There's a couple.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
There you go with the beautiful mountains of western North Carolina out there in Boone, North Carolina. I think that's kind of Furniture Row up there. I remember driving along the Blue Ridge Parkway in North Carolina, and there were 2 or 3 different towns that you could stop in where they make a lot of the furniture that sells in this country. I think people think by now everything comes out of, one country or another, but they still are making a lot of furniture in the Carolina mountains. It's really pretty up there, too.
And I'm assuming by hand, too, because, I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know, it doesn't really look like there's any big factory here along the road.
Yeah. Okay, so it's Ron and Des, and we are glad to be hanging out with you between now and 12 noon. So how's your day been so far?
Great.
Yes.
How's yours?
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had Harkins in here. We were talking about this new movie called Finding Emily, which sounds really good.
All the popcorn is out there?
That's why all the... And you notice the popcorn hasn't even spilled. We're being very well behaved.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So anyway...
Better than my kids who spilled their popcorn last night.
No.
Yeah.
Where?
All over
At
the
football
living room.
practice?
No, all over
the living room.
floor.
Do you go with an Orville Redenbacher product? You know,
No.
like movie theater popcorn in the bag?
You know
or?
what I actually get? Harkins popcorn.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, they sell it at Sam's Club.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, in a giant bag. I think it's like, I don't know, $5, $4, and they like
Oh,
that.
man. The big bags?
It's giant. I don't
Okay,
know.
not
It's
the big
probably
party bags,
this
but-
long. No,
Wow,
it's not the clear
okay.
party bag like they sell in
Yeah,
the theater. It's in a
right.
red bag. So if you're a Sam's Club member, there you go.
There's your hot tip of the day, you
Yeah, and
super
it's just as
shoppers.
good.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. I like to go to Costco because they have the freezer section, you know, where they keep all the blueberries. Do they have a freezer section at Sam's Club?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I'm on
My
board.
kids don't like going in there 'cause it's too cold.
Oh, really?
I'm like,
Even
this
this time.
feels great.
See, true Arizonans. They're like, it's too cold now. We want to get back out to the heat. All right. So we're following what's going on with the Meta trial. Here's your update. Families are accusing the tech giant of designing the platform to be addictive and harmful to children. Now, this is an interesting question, Des. Children. At what age does a parent let a child have a phone?
I mean,
We should talk about that,
are you
right?
asking me that? Or
Yeah,
your
you tell
parents?
me. What do you? Yeah, I mean, you're a parent. I'm sure you
I
and
don't
David have
know.
noodled it around a
I
little
mean,
bit.
right? That's a slippery slope. I feel like, if they're off doing like after school activities and I'm, might need to reach them at some point in time. It just, I don't know. It depends on what life looks like and at what stage. I don't know that there's necessarily a number.
Right.
But just because I give it to them doesn't mean that they'd also have access to that at home.
Yeah.
So
The
I don't know.
there's one child in our whole set of grandkids that got a phone. I think before 12. I think around 11. But their parents control it so strictly,
Right,
Which
exactly.
you should.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you really need to know. Anyway, so the case though is now going beyond the question of the effect on kids. Just looking at social media and transparency with users and the kind of data that they may or may not be collecting. And the allegation is from the plaintiffs that the company broke federal laws by collecting personal data. Let's listen.
Those very basic questions about what Meta knew and whether it was honest and truthful in what it relayed.
Social media is the threat to our kids. It's the opioid fight of our generation.
Okay, so we're going to see how it goes. And one of the aspects to all of this that I think is not getting talked about a lot is it seems like every time one of these big companies gets hauled into court, they lose. And so I don't know if that'll happen in this case or not, but if it does, it seems like every other social media company had better be thinking ahead and figuring out how do we change, right? Unless you're going to be kind of in the same situation.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. I mean, they could set a big precedence with this case,
Yeah.
depending on what they decide.
And interestingly, our next story has to do with this whole concept of ChatGPT. I think they're trying to head it off because they have announced that they are rolling out a separate chat for teens, their own version that's designed for kids who are 13 and older. And the chatbot features stronger protections, including content restrictions around things like self-harm, sex, other topics as well, violence. It also provides homework and study support, so they're trying to make it something that actually could be a plus for teens. That's the other thing, when you get into these chatbots now and these agents. Well, that lady, the way she was typing away, I couldn't quite tell what was going on for a second there.
Firestorm, right?
That is, that's somebody who can still crank out like 80 words a minute.
Yeah, these are just such uncharted waters, right? I mean, social media is relatively new to our children. AI is, relatively new. So I don't know. I think if they get ahead of this here and put in some protections for kids, you would hope that's a good thing. I mean, we just hear so many scary stories and cases that come out of kids even using chat and, AI to carry out crimes in some cases. So.
And then let's transition, Des. I think this would be a great time to do it because another way with the access to phones that people have is how easy it is for you to get online and make a bet now. Whether there are like a half a dozen huge names in that space. So we invited Steve Cotton, who's a financial strategist, to join us a little bit. Steve, can you give us the big picture? Is this a number that continues to grow just in terms of amount of betting that is being done on an every year basis?
Well, thank you all for having me on today. I love being with you all. Yes, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, online betting, and it's even extending to the Gen Zers, who we've got reports that many of them, instead of feeding a Roth IRA or something like that, planning for their financial freedom fund in the future, they're going to online betting, trying to make a quick buck. And I think, frankly, it's a very disturbing trend because it's only 2 or 3% of the people that do online betting ever make any money.
Oh, wow.
Really?
That's a stat for you right there. Well, they always say when you go to Vegas, the house always wins. I mean, the odds are sort of stacked against you.
Yeah.
But are you talking about sports betting here in particular? I mean, that's as old as time, right? A couple of buddies make a $20 bet on a game coming up, and now you can just do it on your phone. Are you talking about these prediction markets? Kind of wade through where your concerns are.
Well, I'm concerned about all of it, frankly, because it feeds into the instant gratification narrative of our culture, and I think this is especially dangerous for the younger generation that has never had a lot of money, and they don't know what it's like to lose a lot of money easily. They don't, we do a terrible job in our high schools of financial literacy education, and I think we've got a generation that's primed to be taken advantage of by all of these predators.
So when we take a look at some of these numbers as relates to sports betting, it says about 26% of Gen Z investors born between 97 and 2007 say that they treat sports betting as a deliberate, ongoing component of their financial plans. What is your reaction to hearing that statistic? And is that a good idea to be, really setting aside money from your finances and to take part in this?
Well, it's an interesting area because we're starting to see college studies, university-based studies of states that have online betting, and they've studied generations. And what you're starting to see is a correlation between online betting and the rise of credit card delinquencies, bankruptcy filings, greater accumulation of credit card debt, and all kinds of negative things that literally will get in the way of this younger generation making their way forward in the world and setting a good financial foundation for themselves. And I think it's a very dangerous thing from that standpoint. And also, if you have an addictive personality, this is just another way to get addicted to something that you could lose a heck of a lot of money, and this is not a generation that has a lot.
Well, we got a couple of minutes left, so let's just get down to brass tacks. If you have somebody in your family or a circle of friends who you're really kind of concerned about, what do you do?
Well, I think one of the things people can do is get with a licensed professional financial advisor and work with the advisor to do some basic education of the younger generation and their children, because This is missing in the high schools, and I think if the younger generation just has some more basic good in information, they will be able to make better choices, and they won't go for the get-rich-quick schemes.
Yeah, that's always the wrong way to go.
I know.
That's for sure.
I love that you mentioned that. I wish we were teaching more of this. I wish I knew more, even in my adult life, but you didn't learn that in school. It wasn't part of the curriculum.
I know.
Yeah. All right,
Okay. Steve, really
thank you.
good info there.
I appreciate you.
Financial strategist. I wonder if you're on a sales call right now. I hope you are, buddy.
Yeah, always doing business.
Where are you, by the way?
No, we're in North Texas in Dallas.
Oh, very
We have
nice.
clients all over the country.
Well, you better come out
Nice.
here because the
Awesome.
Cowboys are playing on Saturday night against the Cardinals preseason. We'll keep an eye on things for you. How about that?
I can't watch. It's too painful.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Hey,
Bye-bye.
by the way, this story before we hit our breaks is, to me, Des, fascinating here. Uber Eats is teaming up with a drone delivery company. Their goal is to do 1 million drone deliveries a day by the end of 2029. And look, this company's called Zipline. It just drops right down. There's your food, leaves it in a bag, and away you go. They've already said they've partnered with Walmart and Chipotle, and now they're working with Uber Eats. How about that?
I like this for the privacy aspect of it, maybe, so folks don't see your face and know where you live type of thing.
All right, security conscious.
But
you gotta
I
be.
don't know if I'm ready for all these drone deliveries, you guys. Let us know what you think in the chat, and we'll throw up the mystery cam. Here it is for today. Get your guesses in. We'll be right back.
All right, Mystery Cam, I find this one fascinating, Des, because it's got more of the wide open spaces feel of the West, right? when I look at it, I
Sure,
don't
yeah.
think like Virginia or the Carolinas, that kind of thing. But where is there a great big lake like that? Let's see what people are saying to us.
With some mountains.
Outlaw
as
Dynamo
well.
says Bama. Thomas Favela says Bangor, Maine. Brandon is in with a South Carolina. Thomas is saying midnight. What's all right, we got Key Largo. I don't think so. They might have a couple of mounds, but I don't think they have mountains quite like that. And then there's a Mississippi. Hello, Linda. Nice to hear from you. What do you think, Des?
I have no idea. How about Utah? I'll go with a little philosophy today.
I could actually see that. I do kind of like that guess. I'm looking at those trees, and I'm going to guess somewhere in California. So we got a Utah and a California, and here comes your answer,
All
everybody.
right. It is, let's see. Oh, Scottsboro, Alabama.
Oh, is that right? Okay, so they have the that's the Tennessee River. It's got to be what that is, because the Tennessee does flow through Scottsboro. I don't know, maybe there's a little lake off near the side. That is one beautiful drive. If you ever find yourself in the South and you're around Huntsville, Alabama, you want to drive on up to Chattanooga, Tennessee. The mountains are beautiful, but that whole drive along the river is, I mean, you're going to want to pull over every 2 minutes and take another beautiful shot.
It looks like a nice lake. Do you fish?
Not really. My dad, when I was younger, we would go out fishing occasionally, but who has time? Fishing,
really?
you just need to be like in a completely different mindset where you're like, I am going to check out for the next 3 hours. Well, the next time I have 3 spare hours, I'll let you know.
Yeah, let me know. You won't find me fishing if I need that kind of time.
There you
I
go.
don't got that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so if you had 3 free hours, which you never do, what would you do with 3 free hours?
Oh my gosh, what would I do?
Yeah.
Oh,
Would you go to a movie?
no.
Yeah?
Probably treat myself to a pedicure with a Starbucks and then walk around Target with no shopping list.
Does snap back into
sorry.
real life here.
Okay,
So-
what would you do in 3 hours?
with 3 hours. Oh, boy. You know, I actually would sit down and watch a movie on TV probably.
Yeah?
What Renee said to me yesterday, because I went to the movies first time in months to go see Young Washington.
Oh.
It's a really good movie.
It was good?
About a young George Washington. And she's like, I want to watch that on TV, and it's already on Prime.
Oh, look at that.
So,
All right, you need to carve out some time this weekend.
yeah,
Sit down and watch that.
a movie for
Yeah,
sure. But
yeah.
you know what's starting now? Football season.
Exactly.
No
So
more
forget
movie
it.
time.
Never mind. He's not watching any movies anytime soon.
We got-
I was just going back up into the chat. There's so many folks in the chat with us today, telling us good morning.
Good, nice.
Yes,
Thanks, you guys.
Thomas,
Like the-
Linda, our
Right.
usuals. They were talking about my mic. You couldn't hear me. This is
Okay.
better now? I
Oh,
think you
yeah,
guys.
sounds
yeah, it was
good.
kind of
Well, I
off
got
to
the
my
headphones
side.
on, so
yeah.
I can hear you.
All right, good to see you guys. Oh, and a couple of them say, Kathy Welch says we need to teach these kids how to change tires. Something as simple as that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Especially, and I was funny because Renee had a low tire a couple days ago. She's like, let's go down to QT, you know, where the air is free. Some other people like to charge for air. And I was just laughing about it because it was like 112. And I'm like, by the way, just so you know, tire issues always happen when it's 110 plus.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Never
yeah.
in February.
Yeah, never.
Always in August. Hey, Dave Folio is here. Captain with Scottsdale Fire. How you doing?
Good.
Hi, how you doing, Dave?
I did just get back from fishing, San Diego actually, on Crystal Pier, and it was really
Oh,
nice.
yeah. What were you catching?
The wife loves it. I'm not sure what we're catching, but we watched an individual at the end of the pier, amberjack,
Okay.
yellowtail amberjack. It looks
Okay.
like a tuna.
Oh.
So I made that post and got like 87,000 views, and they all corrected me that it wasn't a yellowtail. So thank you for
Really?
correcting me.
What do you have, like a million followers?
Yeah, so we have these reels where we go to Woods Canyon, right? And we catch the little trout that are there. You love it. Commercialized fishing at its best. Get an ice cream. Get a new battery for the boat. And then you just throw shrimp off the side there with a weight, and it kind of sits in. It's those white fish that go in and get the crabs in and out, and you catch some of those and just release them back. It just hooks their little mouth, and so it's fun.
Wow.
But yeah, it was fun to watch them catch a tuna and San Diego Strong all working together at the end of the pier.
Yeah.
Sure.
You're like, okay, you guys aren't in work, but you're out here fishing. But yeah, it was a great trip with the daughters.
One of the TV stations that I used to work at, we had a regular fishing report. You know,
Really?
where the bass were biting.
Yeah.
Were they biting?
A lot of times, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, they're in a lot that you find them a lot here.
Yeah, I don't know if they bite in the extreme heat. They're low. They got to be low, right?
Yeah. No one wants to come above water when it's this hot.
Speaking of
So
extreme heat,
Yes.
how's this particular heat wave doing for you
Man,
guys?
we've
Have
seen
you
some
had
rescues,
numbers?
right?
Yeah.
We've seen some rescues, and it's a little bit of frustrating just because it takes so much manpower to go on these rescues, and we're flooding our social media sites, and you guys are talking about the extreme heat. They closed down Camelback and a couple trails on South Mountain, but I've actually been there hiking in the morning, and what happens is you come off the trail about 7:30, and that gate actually shuts on Camelback. For instance, there's Echo, and then there's Cholla Trail. People are there. They're starting their hike at about 7:30. They're not starting it early, and then when they get there up to the top, it's probably 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning, and the extreme heat's starting to hit them, and they can't get down. So recently, it was surprising too, because I've yet to see this. I noticed it. Chandler and Tempe started doing training with Mount Maricopa Sheriff's, the Fox helicopter. And that's what you saw in a couple of these rescues, because right now Firebird 10's helicopter's down. So it changes the way we do business, and it changes the way we respond, because we have to respond more units into there. And we've been hitting the extreme heat. It changes the way we do business, even in our training. Like an alarm goes off at every one of our stations and says, "Hey, it's over 105 today. Do tabletop drills. Stay inside. Hydrate." But the amount of resources that have to come to these is incredible, because what people don't see is that once that Fox or the Fox Sheriff's helicopter makes that rescue, they got to take them to a landing zone, and we got to secure that landing zone. We got to have units at that landing zone ready to treat, which pulls units from other areas. So we just need people to be responsible, be smart, know your abilities if you're going to go hiking. People talk about shutting down the trails. We know Phoenix shuts down their trails, the Camelback and some on the South Mountain. It would be impossible for us to shut down a lot of our trails. So we've gone to the Scottsdale McDowell Conservancy, where they have over 600 stewards who volunteer 20 to 25 hours a month to sit at our trailheads and educate people.
Jeez.
So that's the way we've gone. And we've also done the numbers. When Phoenix closes their trails, our numbers are down on our preserve. So people get this false sense that our trails are closed too, which we love. Like, please take the extreme heat seriously. Start early, end early, and if you don't have to go hiking in this extreme heat, don't do it at all. Go see a movie. We have beautiful resorts and restaurants and theaters and go do a stay vacation at one of our resorts.
So, and if I almost called them the crazies, still want to hike in the heat,
well,
what time should they be starting?
So you're
like 7:30 is not early
calls
enough.
Me every time he sees one of these the rescues, and he says, "Why isn't there a stupid hiker law like there's a stupid motorist law when people drive around the barriers?" I don't have an answer to that. That's way above me to figure out, but people just need to be responsible. A lot of tourists come to our city to see a saguaro, so they want to go on. We have over 330 miles of trails that kind of link into Gateway, Brown's Ranch, and they all link together. Tom's Thumb. People can enter from the neighborhoods, so it's not as easy as Camelback shut 2 gates and close it for us. So we don't want to deter people. We want them to be responsible and understand the signs and symptoms of heat stroke compared to heat exhaustion. Starting to be sweaty, you're getting real clammy, and this goes for construction workers and working in the heat also. You got to have work cycles like we do. We do work cycles. We bring in extra people. Our crews are used to working 30 minutes on a fire. Now they work 15, maybe max 20 minutes, and we recycle those crews out. Wow. So I think the construction crews need to do the same thing when the extreme heat's hitting, and just understand that it's a serious deal. You're starting to feel clammy, sweaty. You've stopped sweating. Your mouth's really dry. Get cooled off. Get in a cool place, and then heat stroke moves into you're actually passing out. You're vomiting. Those are heat stroke issues, and that's a 911 emergency. You need to call and get help for that. So,
and I mean, we've just covered it too. I forget the gentleman and all the details in that story and what he was hiking, but an experienced hiker, and he passed away on the trail.
Yeah. And so everybody knows we had a person pass away on our trail 2 years ago. So we've learned from every incident we have, whether it's a fire, hiking. We're an all hazards fire department. We've added a SOSAR team, which is a search and rescue team. We've got 4 or 5 dogs in that team now that can search for people, so we can get to you quickly. One of the other things we've done is we've added e-bikes to everyone, and another technical rescue team further north in our city. So we have 2 teams now that can respond to these incidences, and our goal is to make patient contact quickly and stop that clock and start treating you, cooling you off, coming up with a plan to get you off. But we have e-bikes now on every one of our technical rescue trucks where we have 2 trained individuals that have the same equipment on our fire truck, advanced life support equipment, on their backs, and they take off. Another thing that's helped us out is the GPS location. Everybody needs to know, like, bring plenty of water. When you get halfway done with your water, turn back and go to the trailhead. Bring the charged cell phone, because when you call that 911 when you're in trouble, we actually ping your location and we can send that to the units in the field and they go right to that location. And it's really important to stay on the trail system. Don't get off the trail system, because then it's really hard to find you. But just, be responsible, be prepared, bring plenty of water. And like I said, so I'm, for instance, the steward on Pinnacle Peak. I was hiking 2 weeks ago, and she noticed, oh, that's Dave Folio for, he does the public information officer for the fire department. And she's actually stopped me. She's like, let me see your water. And I was that guy, right? I was almost done with my one thing of water that I brought. I had drunk 2 before, drank 2 things, but I don't have the Camel pack like I should. So she's like, let me fill that water up. And I was almost done. I had actually turned back when I was halfway done.
Okay.
But yeah, so the stewards are there to educate you, listen to them. If they offer you water, take the water. They'll offer some at the trailhead. And then what they do too is they stop the large groups even going in at our trailheads, because we have the bachelor parties and the bachelorette parties that come in on the weekend, and they want to go hike either that morning before what they're going to do in Scottsdale, and they'll remind them, hey, it's too hot right now, turn back, go elsewhere, and or they'll make sure they have enough
Well,
water.
and that group was probably out the night before not drinking water, so not a good combination.
Thank you guys.
You know what you can do is scrub back and watch this
Thank
last
you,
10
Dave.
minutes. A lot of good info in there today, Dave. Hopefully we saved some lives. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you guys.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.